I'm ready for some sunshine. Deep within the Florida aquifer, flowing upward out of numerous caves and rock crevices, artesian springs discharge millions of gallons of warm, crystalline water daily from a multitude of vents. Because of its porous limestone terrain, the Sunshine State has one of the largest concentrations of springs on Earth, mostly located in the northern and central region. The magnitude of gushing spring water forms pristine rivers which gently serpentine through Spanish moss-laden cypress and pines, supporting a wide variety of fish, birds, plants, and other native wildlife. The Rainbow River is indeed a special place, and it's where I make an annual winter trip to collect underwater footage as I follow in the footsteps of my predecessors, Glenn Lau and Doug Hannon. Hi everyone, I'm Kim Stricker, and welcome to another Hook and Look Splash, a splash of fishing information from an underwater point of view. Considering the crystal clear setting this river has to offer, we've captured underwater footage here for a variety of companies over the years, including Power Pole, Strike King, and amid this trip, our product focus was on Yamamoto baits. My wife Sarah offered her assistance in documenting the alluring shimmy of the Senko, as well as the action of other soft plastics. In addition to the crystalline environment, another benefit to this spring-fed river is that the water temperature here remains at a constant 73 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. Regardless of moon phase, each winter when I visit, typically in January or February, I've found the bass population here in a variety of stages around the spawn. This year, I found many small males guarding nests, yet others were protecting fry. This brood were already an inch long, and Daddy was aggressively bug-eyed from keeping watch. As I moved along, I eventually encountered some of the Florida giants I was hoping to see. These two were just cruising the outer edge of the grass, while I found others tucked back, concealed within the thick vegetation. At this point, you would think the spawn was over. Nevertheless, we were coming upon the new moon, and I found others just beginning to pair up. 2 days later, I was fortunate enough to come upon this pair engaged in the act and willing to pose marvelously for the camera, even when I approached for a close-up view.
When I get closer, that fish is a lot bigger than 5 pounds. That is a big fish. That's a 6 or 7 pounder. I didn't realize it. The water's so clear. When you're that far away from it, it just doesn't look that big. But when I approach it, it's huge. He's just kind of gently rubbing her belly, trying to loosen up the eggs. Eventually, she'll drop them. It's so incredible to be able to witness the fish spawn like this, especially in such a crystal clear environment. Look at this. Man, she's looking me right in the eye. This is just amazing. I can reach out and touch them. I'm so close. Hashtag close up. My friend Glenn Lau would be extremely proud right now. I think of him every minute I'm in the water here. You can see the coloration of the male, how he's a real pale green. And then the female, her markings are dark, and her eye is just jet black. Now that little male's getting aggressive. This is just fabulous footage.
The Florida largemouth, Micropterus floridanus, was once considered a subspecies of its northern relative, Micropterus salmoides. yet in actuality, it's a distinct species in itself. Although similar in many ways, the Florida strain differs somewhat from its northern cousin. One of the most obvious is their ability to grow much larger, although this is somewhat due to the simple fact that they benefit from an extended growing season. Transplants of the Florida species have been very successful in other states which maintain moderate water temperatures, such as Texas, California, and even Tennessee. But unfortunately, the Florida species cannot tolerate northern climates like we have in Michigan. Sight fishing for spawners in this crystalline water is a challenge and takes a stealthy approach and a lot of patience. With that said, I've had better luck punching the matted vegetation. I knew I'd find one eventually. It's not a mega, but it's a good one. It's a good one. Yes, sir. On the Zaco. This is traditionally a swim bait, but I found out flipping it, they'll eat this thing, especially when I dye the tail a little bit orange. It's kind of like a golden shiner. Just dropping it in front of their face will trigger them. To punch the mats, I begin with 65-pound test Seagar Smackdown braided line, then Texas rig the Zaco with a 5-aught heavy cover flipping hook and a 1-ounce tour grade tungsten bullet weight. Although these waters support a variety of forage species for bass, I'm mimicking one of their favorites, the golden shiner. That's why I'm taking a Spike It Dip and Glow marker and dyeing the tail of the Zaco orange. And just like the baitfish themselves, the orange dye on the Zaco's tail really stands out underwater. Whoa, don't you go anywhere. Don't you go anywhere. Not that big one I'm looking for, but another fish under the mats. And another fish on the Zaco. To fish the outside of the grass, I rigged a weightless 5-inch Senko with a size 2 Gamakatsu wide gap finesse hook secured with an Owaki O-ring. The day prior, I had located these giants hanging near a matted weed edge and was suddenly startled when I turned to find 2 huge snapping turtles laying on top of each other. It caught me off guard and frankly, could have been one of these critters, just as easy. Nevertheless, I approached the spot and quietly skipped my Senko to the edge and let it slowly sink. A couple of twitches and there we go. There we go, that's one of the big ones. That's a big one. Ooh, ooh, don't get in that, don't go over that grass. Ooh, that's a good fish. Ooh, that's the one we're waiting on. They live here, they live here, come on. Oh, get up here, get up here. Get out of that stuff. Did he wrap up? Oh, he did. I just broke off. Well, you saw him. That was a giant. Golly. Oh, I only got 10-pound test on this, so. But he wrapped up into something down there. That was one of the fish I saw. That was the fish I saw next to the turtles. That's fishing.